Alright, so many of you have asked about my current configuration, including which editor I use, the theme and font I prefer and all that kind of fancy stuff. That's why today I've decided to quickly create this short video to show you my current configuration, the key bindings I use and general programming setup. Beforehand, I think it's worth noting that this is only my personal preference and you can basically feel free to adapt the things so that they work for you in the end. I am using the Zed editor, which is pretty good at the moment and nearly in a stable state. But besides the not stable state, it still works for me quite well, has native Vim integrations and is really smooth and fast. So what do you want more? I've also made a video about that, so feel free to check it out as well. Also, all of these configurations are open source, so I've got a public repository that just highlights all the configurations I had or have. So feel free to check out this as well. It is worth noting that I'm only going to focus on the Z specific part here, but my NVim and Z configurations have a huge overlap. Okay, so let's get started and answer the most asked questions first so that I don't waste your time, and then we will go over the other settings and key bindings. Oh, and by the way, if you want to have a short version of this video, feel free to check out the GitHub link down below in the description. But if you want all the explanations behind these decisions, feel free to stay and watch till the end. So the most asked question I actually get is what theme, what editor and what font I use. I've already highlighted this in the beginning. I'm using currently the Zed editor and the theme is GitHub Dark. Now I think that's just personal preference. Again, I'm using GitHub a lot and that's why I also like the theme a lot, and that's why I also applied the theme from GitHub directly to my Zed editor. Also, the font I am using is also GitHub inspired. So this is the font I am using. It is provided and developed by GitHub as well. So I kind of have a theme and a font that basically work together hand in hand. Okay, so let's go from top to the bottom to highlight all the configurations I have in my settings of my Zed editor. So the assistant I'm using is Claude, and basically the assistant is just a LLM model that I might use while coding. Now I will explain why I said might, because it's not always the case. Now project panel, I think it's pretty clear. Whenever I want to open the project panel, it opens always in the right. You can also just say or set this setting to left to have like the default editor experience. Then we basically set 3 options here for the toolbar. So we have the breadcrumbs, which just highlight the file path that I'm currently editing. And then the quick actions, I really never use them, and that's why we actually hide them. Same for the selections menu. Now let's just skip the UI font family and buffer font family, because I've already explained what I'm actually using here. Now then we've got 2 features. We've actually disabled Copilot. So I'm not using any direct native integration of AI. However, whenever I do want to have a better auto-completion, I just press a specific key binding. And I will explain that in a minute here. But we also have the edit prediction provider configured as Z. And then we've got a few other options like linked edits. So there is currently an issue. I think the issue is also fixed. So probably all these configurations might change over time. So always feel free to check out the GitHub link. Then I basically hide the mouse on typing and movement. Then we have a show edit predictions. Now I've added a comment here that this will be triggered manually with Ctrl X and Ctrl Z. I'll actually show you what that means. We have inlay hints disabled. What does that actually mean? Let's just enable this here and check out the may.go. What we will actually see are the types and kind of also the parameter names. So for instance, if we scroll down here and we see process file, obviously we have P, which is CSV, right? And then content. So this is the parameter name. And that just provides a native way to kind of show these hints. I don't really like them, and that's why I've disabled them. Now again, theme I'm using is GitHub Dark. I've disabled all the telemetry because I don't really like sending any data to any company, but feel free whenever you want to support that to enable these 2 options here. Obviously Vim mode is true. Then we got cursor blink false. Now I know a lot of people might be discouraged by that or hate this, but I really like this because it's not blinking, it just stays basically static. We have relative line numbers to true so that I can just navigate easily up or down, for instance. So if I want to jump to telemetry, I just press 8 and K and then I'm at the telemetry option here. Alright, the tab bar actually shows you all the opened files in your tab bar. I actually never show the scroll bar here. I don't really find it that helpful in the end. Then we've got some fancy rainbow indentation. So we've enabled them, and then we've got some coloring, which just highlights these beautiful kind of rainbow indentation lines we've actually see here in this if block, right? So I hate preview tabs, that's why I've disabled them. Now we've got the git gutter as well, just for the tracked files, and we also have the inline blame. Now the inline blame just tells us the author and the change of the currently highlighted line. Now this can become really helpful if you communicate with other teammates, for instance. Then I really never use the system clipboard here for the Vim integration. We've got some other minor language changes, and then we've got web guides 90. So these two lines basically just enable a grayish kind of line in the end in the editor. Now this can become helpful if you want to format your comments, for instance. Now I've got just some experimental work here just to have like a sort of transparent Zed editor. I don't really like this configuration, but feel free to use it. All right. And then also I've got a YouTube use. So these things here I normally comment out so that in the end, basically, I just use all the settings until right around here, right? And these settings normally do not exist, but I will just comment them out in the end whenever I use the Zed editor normally. And when I'm recording a YouTube video, like this video for instance, I just uncomment them, and then I have a really common kind of layout for all my YouTube videos. Okay, cool. So coming to the key bindings. Now generally Zed is mostly Vim native, but still I have a few personal changes here, and a few of them are also copied over from the official key bindings of Zed so that I actually do not forget the key bindings here. Alright, so this is just some AI fancy stuff. So whenever we want to kind of use AI in Zed, this is just personal preference. I don't really like the way that the LLM in the end really suggests a huge line of code that I actually do not want to program in the end. And I don't always like tabbing all the case. So I only use the inline assist whenever I need help. I rarely use AI, specifically in Zed. So what these three lines allow me is to basically interact with the assistant of the Zed editor here. So for instance, whenever I press Ctrl X and Ctrl C, then I get a edit prediction. Now this is pretty cool. I can just blend in some screenshots here from Zed specifically. So I highly recommend just checking out this specific feature. So what this configuration allows me is basically whenever I am in the project explorer here and I can edit the files and whatnot with like Shift R or %, for instance, and I want to navigate back to my editor, I just press SH and then I'm back in my editor. Right? There's a really handy navigation. Then I can hide the project explorer here again, or the project panel in this case. And that's literally it. All right, so this configuration block just allows me to kind of, for instance, just comment things with GC, for instance, right? Instead of, I think it was CMD and / for OSX in this case. Or like to import stuff, for instance, right? Or just toggle the outline and search the buffer for symbols here, like context, for instance, right? So these are just handy things that I normally use in my day-to-day use. Now then we've got some fancy editing techniques. Now one specific key binding I'm using a lot is space PE. That basically allows me to see all the errors here. So for instance, if I just go into my main Go file, and let's just say that I'm commenting out this line with GC again, then I have a lot of errors, right? How do I see all the errors in my project? I just press basically space PE and I see all the errors here. I can navigate around them, right? And the cool thing about Zed is that I can also navigate up and I can just fix the issue in here and just save things, and then we are good to go, right? So let's undo this. Going back to our key maps, we also have these GLs, which is pretty neat as well. So what we can do here in our main.go file, let's just say that I do want to kind of rename this process file function. What I can do is just press GA to highlight all the occurrences of this function. What I can also just do is press GL, for instance, to just highlight the next occurrence. But let's just say that I want to rename this function. I will just do GA, then go back one basically, and then I would say rename function, for instance, right? I think you get the idea here. Obviously what we get now is a double E. I can just do GA again, navigate here, remove the E, and that's it. Pretty cool. Let's undo this again. Let's go to the next key binding block. What I've got here is just some fancy markdown preview things. I'm just going to ignore this. These two things I'm actually using a lot as well, which is just some really fancy Git visualization in my editor. Okay, so what I have here is a really simple project. Now what I can do, for instance, whenever I remove this line, I actually see the line gutter here. I just enabled them, right? Normally in the YouTube usage, it would be disabled, but I'm just going to enable them for you. And what I can do now with this kind of shortcut, I can do space GHD, and I actually can see the removed line. Or for instance, if you change something specifically, you would actually see the changed line. And what I could do now is press space GHR to revert this line, which is really cool sometimes. All right, coming back to our key bindings here. This block is the biggest one, I think. Yes. Now what we have here is a lot of navigational key bindings. So whenever I press space E, I actually see the type and whatnot, right? So whenever I press space E, I would see, okay, this is actually a module, for instance, right? Now then we've got some buffer navigation. So for instance, if we press S and V, we actually split to the right in this case. I can also press SS to split things down. And then I can navigate around them with like SH, SL, basically to navigate to the right, SK to basically navigate up, and SJ to navigate down, right? I think that's pretty helpful to know as well. What I can do now is column Q to quit the currently highlighted buffer in this case. And then we've got more utility bindings. So to instance, navigate around the tab bar, what I can say is press space H to go to the UI.rs file. And then I could just press space L to navigate back or navigate to the right, which is in this case the keymap.json file. Now same for finding files in the project. What I could do is just press space PF and then I see all the files and then I can actually navigate to a specific file. I can also search for things. I can format the current buffer in this case and all that fancy stuff. Speaking of going to the right doc, I can just press this key binding to just highlight or go to my project explorer. I can just open a file and then I can press SH again and then Control WL to kind of toggle the right dock again. Got some fancy navigation key bindings for the arrows here as well. So whenever there is an error, I can directly jump to the next or previous diagnostic. Same for like the Git stuff here. And then we've got some utility YouTube usage things. All right, then we've got some utility key bindings here as well. So for instance, whenever we are in an empty pane, I am actually allowed to find files in the current project, or for instance, just open a recently used project. Here again, whenever I kind of highlight a specific block, I am allowed to kind of use GC to comment this visual block. So for instance, when I highlight these two lines, I press GC and then it works. And then the last ones are again just a personal preference. I can just press JK to kind of go into the normal mode of Vim, right? So whenever I am in the insert mode, I press JK and then I am back to the normal mode. And this here again is just for YouTube usage again. Now I hope that this video wasn't too boring for you, but now you should have a good overview and understanding of how I typically code, and including all the key bindings, theme and font I use. And if you want to really know why I actually prefer Zed over VS Code, feel free to check out this video here as well. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, have a lovely day and bye bye.